So really good to meet you live on a podcast and just have a bit of chat about how you came to Primary.
Yeah. Hey, look, the other point about this, that early, that modeling process that I think is important is when you produce some documentation, I mean, I use the term on paper as well, even though it's kind of in an app, you have to be quite stringent about how you do it so that it's communicatable. And so the primary kind of line is, use the power of stories, where all of our stuff creates basically a series of stories. And the reason that works well is you can sit down with somebody, even the most non-technical person in the world, and then you can talk them through the model. And because the model is composed of a series of stories, and the stories work in a simple way, like they've got a simple arc and they're really formalized. So there's only kind of one way you can do them. I constantly get clients saying, hey, can you make this change where you can connect all the stories up together? And I'm like, nah, because that just means it's going to be so complicated that no one's going to understand it. Only the guy who wrote it's going to understand it. And so there's the two halves. There's the tool that allows you to do the thinking, but then there's this communication piece that allows you to validate and confirm and actually bring in the gold from the client, because the client usually knows, what they want to do. They just can't express it, and they don't have the right forum to have their ideas heard. So that what they'll usually do is, you guys must know this, they'll just repeat the thing that they think is important, like in 6 different ways. And you're like, yeah, we got that. But how does that fit in? How do we make that work in the context? And so this storytelling process, we call it a walkthrough, it really is fantastic. And by the end of it, you end up sort of building the software in your mind. So everyone's built a kind of copy of the application in their mind. And you can have really meaningful conversations where the totally non-technical founder person might say, that bit where this happens and then you click that button and it all turns pink or whatever. And everyone goes, yep, yeah, we all remember that. We all understand that. This instead. And then, and you can have a really kind of in-depth conversation about this application that doesn't yet exist, rather than building it, clicking the button, and then having this realization 3 months later.
That's completely wrong.
Yeah, it's completely wrong. And the market's moved on, and, a whole bunch of other stuff's happened. So, and it's cost you a fortune. So it's that communication thing that's the really important. I spent a lot of time in big corporates with an analyst who would whip out a telephone book-sized document that was purposely designed to make that person look clever and be completely unintelligible to everybody else in the room. And so that is kind of the antithesis of what we're trying to do. We're trying to make something that everyone can understand.